Alright gamers, today it's time to go to the big top and play drum roll. Let's check it out. In the game, you're going to be one of 4 different colors for your circus. Blue, green, yellow, and red. You're going to start off with cubes right here by the ticket counter and cubes right here on the 0. This track goes to 50. Don't worry about that because it's a very low scoring game. Anyway, you're also going to get your little player board here, and as you see, they're denoted by the color of the tents. That one's yellow, green, red, and blue. Yay! Beautiful. So anyway, everyone's going to have one of these little player mats and they're going to play around the board. Now, what you're trying to do, of course, is put on the best performance. You have 3 different shows, and this marker counts your shows here. This marker counts the rounds that you have to prep. Now, you have 4 rounds to prep. After that, these next 2 rounds, everyone takes a vote. They can say yay or nay. And whoever has the first player token that round, the ringmaster, gets to break ties. So in a 4-player game, if the ringmaster said yay or nay and there was a tie, you would follow whatever the ringmaster said. And it could go into a 5th or 6th round. Now in the 7th round, anyone who, if it does go to a 7th round, if they vote, everyone votes for a 7th round, and a 7th round passes, everyone gets an extra turn to, prep for their circus. However, they are going to lose a victory point. They are going to go down 1 on the victory point track. So sometimes you may not want to go to 7 unless you really, really need that extra time to prep for the show. After that, the show would reset here and you go to show number 2. Now what you're going to do at the beginning of the game is you're going to shuffle these little destination tiles and put it right here on your player board. And destinations are Athens, Moscow, London, Vienna, and Prague. So you're going to shuffle these around, give them out to the players. So in a 4-player game, only 4 out of these 5 will go. And you know that you're going to, let's say I got this one, I'm going to Athens. Now what does this tell me? Well, in Athens, they like the bizarre acts and the acrobats. And then I look over at the next player, who I'm going to be switching tiles with next time because you're going to pass these around. All 4 of these circuses are going to be traveling to the same cities. Now, there's also magic acts and tamers, animal tamers. And then, of course, there are jugglers. And there's an even distribution of each type. So as you shuffle them around, you may have, a few that pop up as more regular than others. But anyway, what this is saying is, if by the end of whenever we finish our rounds here, I can get 2 bizarre acts and 2 acrobatic acts in my show, I'm going to gain 2 victory points for this and 2 victory points for that. So it gives me an extra incentive to pick up those 2 type of acts. And then the other players have incentive to get up their type of acts. So let's say player 3 has this. Well, we're both going for acrobats. I need to keep that in mind. And of course, someone's going to go head to head, like player 2 and 4. They're both going for tamers right now. So you are going to have some competition trying to get the performers to your circus. And then, of course, once the first show's over, you're going to exchange this to the person to your left, and then you're going to get there. So my next destination would probably be Moscow. So you can also look ahead. Everyone can look at everyone else's show start, and you can look ahead to see, oh, what am I going to need in the future? So maybe if I get these filled up, I may start working on getting these 2 for my next show. But that's all part of the gameplay, which I should be getting into. So everyone picks one of these. That's how they start the first show, and now they start bidding. And now there you get these little tokens here that are going to let you bid for a variety of things. Most importantly, what you'll be getting is these cubes here. These cubes are going to help out. I'll explain more about them later. But you can also sell tickets to generate money because you're going to need money to pay your performers and your crew. Speaking of the performers and the crew, you can go here and get some performers or crew from the decks. How it's going to start off is you're going to put out, this is your crew here, your helpers here. You put out as many of these every round as there are players in the game. So if I'm playing a 4-player game, I would dole out 4 of them. Now what these are just people who can help you in the game, either by exchanging cubes, letting you go first every round. You can make extra money for every show you have, or some of them will give you extra victory points for every show you have, like a band. That's really cool. So what the crew does is they just help you out in your trying to achieve to get the greatest show on earth. So you can get these. Now if you look up here, if you read it, the big coin tells you how much they're worth up front. And then this little star with the 1 on it, that's how much I have to pay them every show. So every time we get to a show, I have to pay this general supplier 1 coin. And a lot of them are, cheaper. They're expensive up front, but the crew's pretty cheap, on the way down. This guy's free. So 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, just depends on who you're getting here. So that's the crew. I could get crew. If I wanted to get crew, I just put something right there and I can go hire some crew members. Now, if I put something right here, that means I get to hire performers. On performers, you have this little card that kind of covers the performers. And you're going to deal from the bottom of the deck because these performers, well, they're double-sided cards here. So to hide what's coming up so no one will know, you just put it here. And then you can just deal out from the bottom of the deck. And you're going to deal out 1 for each player plus 1. So there's always going to be a lot of variety for people to pick them. So if I was to pick 4, what type of, and you just lay them out for people to buy, and they're going to be, just like you need in the game, musicians, jugglers, tamers, bizarre people, and acrobats. So you're going to have these types of people, and these are just a few of the art in the game. The art is just beautiful. Looks like something out of Barnum and Bailey's here, by the way. I know I just kind of rushed by it. But there are several different types of these people in the deck. And of course, right up here, they will tell you how much they are. The big coin is how much you have to purchase them for. And then the smaller coin is how much you have to pay them for a show. So Magician's 3 to buy outright, but also he's 3 per show. He's expensive. Whereas you see someone here, like the Mystic Dancer, she is 1 coin for each other bizarre act you have in your show. So if I do pick up 2 bizarre acts, that means she is worth 2. Now, when you're trying to pick these up, every round that one of these, let's say if these were the 5 and I picked up the elephant, no, I didn't want to pick the elephant tamer. I want the rope walker because I need an acrobatic act in my class. So I pick up that. And in the show, let's say someone picks up the trickster and the mystic dancer. So we're left with these 2 after the first round. Now you're going to refill, of course, both piles, the crew and the performers, but you're going to leave these on, and what you're going to do is you're going to put one of these little tokens on them. Now what this little token stands for, it says, hey, these guys are actually going to take less up front when you buy them. So now the clown is worth 2 coins. The elephant tamer is worth 2 coins. And you keep putting these on until they're down to 1 coin each. If no one wants them for that price, at the end of that next round, like this one, they'd be 2 coins each. Here they'd be 1 coin each. If no one wants them on the 4th round, they'll both go away because no one wants them. It'll be a sad clown, a sad elephant tamer, and then you'll put out 2 more. But that's how the discounts work. You can also put discounts on any crew that don't get picked, and when it gets down to 1, if no one still wants them, they're eliminated from the deck. So that's kind of sad there, but hey, it's what happens in the business. All right, so here we have my acrobat. Now, as you see down here, I have 3 different kinds of colored cubes: green, red, and yellow. And over here, the cubes, basically they're just cubes, but they stand for, practices or white cubes. Equipment is yellow. Advertising, promotions is green. If you're getting costumes, that's blue, and supplies is red. So I see my acrobat, well, they need some promotions. They need supplies and equipment to do their performance. Now, I don't have to have them all by the time we start our first show. I at least should have 1 on here. And how you get these is you do it in this order. Like, I can put a red and yellow on here, but I won't get anything for her performance until I put a green. So you kind of want to do it in order. If it's out of order, that's fine, but you have to have this one to activate it to take advantage of their ability. What am I talking about by their ability? Well, if you look at the bottom of each one of these cards, they actually have different abilities that will activate at the end of each show. Some of them give you extra cards, some of them give you extra cubes, some of them give you trailers, like this Mystic Dancer. If I had a trailer, this is a trailer token, you could place it on any one of your performers. So let's say I place it on my rope walker. She's going to cost me $4 at the end of the first show. But if I gave her own trailer, it subtracts this by 1, and now I only have to pay her $3 per show. So that's very nice. So sometimes you'll get trailers like that. And maybe you'll get other different kind of stuff like, the rope walker. She's going to give me coins. Now, like I said, I can't just put a yellow coin there and get 5 coins. No, I have to have the green and the red before I can put the yellow on. But as you see, the more cubes I put on her, the more powerful her special ability is for each show. And that goes with everyone here. Everyone's going to get more powerful as they get more cubes on them, because cubes represent their performance. This is a poor performance, this is an okay performance, and this is a great performance. And if you have no cubes on them, they don't even perform. You still have to pay them, but they don't perform. That's a waste there if you do that. Now, other things that you can get on the board is something like a contract, a deal. You can make a deal, get some investors in you, and all these are just little action cards that offer you little cheats in the game. So it lets you do different things in the game. So they cost 1 coin. This is the bag of coins here, but it would cost a coin to pick up one of these. So how each round would start, let's just say the round started here, and like I said, these were the 5, they're put over here. Everyone's going to get 3 of these each, and that make sure they get 3 actions. And in a number player game, like in a 4-player game, only 4 of these cubes are active. And those are the ones that are decided by the players. So, for instance, let's say red wanted a blue cube. They'd play there. Now, no one else can play on top of red. They can't get a blue cube anymore. Green goes next. They get a yellow. Yellow gets a white, and blue gets a red. Now, can someone come back with one of their extra circles? It's red's turn again. Can he come back and get that green? No, because in a 4-player game, only 4 spots are available. Now, for the other spots, you can actually play on top of other players. So for instance, let's say blue says, I'm going to make some money. Then they'd move up the money track and get 2 coin. If red wanted to do that, they surely could, because you can stack on any of these options here. And you can stack up to 2. So if red wanted to do this twice, they could. They couldn't do it a 3rd time, but they can do any of these actions twice. So if they want to hire 2 crew or 2 performers or get 2 more investors in, they can do that. Or they can just spread up their last 2 actions. Or they can just skip cubes and, like I said, get 3 actions over here. Now, of course, you're going to generate money to pay your performers at the end of the show. Because any performers you cannot pay quit. They leave your show and you do not get their reward. So you might want to make sure you can pay all these jokers. Now, when it comes to performance time, this is where you'll put on the show, see how many cubes you have. Everyone will take the actions, activate the powers that are on each of their cards. They'll add any victory points. So let's say I was able to get 2 bizarre acts, but I couldn't get 2 acrobats. I only got 1. Well, I only get 2 victory points, and I was yellow, so I'd go up 1, 2 on the board. And victory points are going to be slow at first, and they're going to build up over time. Now, if you have all 3 cubes on a player and you wish to retire them, how does that work? Well, when you retire someone, you see you flip this over. It says flip it over for 2 victory points. I'd have to have all 3 cubes on them. They would have to do a great performance. This is their swan song, their last performance in the circus. Once they do that, I can retire them. I do not get to collect their reward, but I would flip them over. Now what do I get? Well, you see the cubes have disappeared. They're retired, but they're only worth 1. I only have to pay them 1 for each additional show now. They're just kind of hanging out, coaching other acrobats and stuff. So I don't have to pay them as much. So that helps you, but it also gains you victory points. So I retired that person and moved them up. So as you're playing this game, when you get them up to 3 cubes, you may want to go ahead and retire them and punch in he's worth 3 victory points and 2 and 4 victory points if retired. So you may want to retire them. Now, sometimes you don't want to retire them because, like I said, if I look 2 steps ahead, I see that I'm going to need acrobats again when I hit London on the 3rd show there. So I may want to keep that acrobat, may not want to retire them, because if not, I'll have to go find 2 more. So these are ways to get victory points. Retiring your staff is another way to get victory points. Now, when you retire your staff, all the cubes you had on here, they go away. You don't get to keep them. So you get to keep them as long as they're working for you. You get to keep them on the card, but once you retire them, those cubes go away, unless you have a card that says otherwise. Now, another thing, as you are collecting the different color cubes, you're going to put them in your little cubes section here. And after everyone's done all their actions, you get a bonus action to take 2 cubes from the pile and place it on any one of the characters. Now, you can't place 3 unless you have maybe someone in your crew who will let you place an additional one. So you'll be taking 2 cubes from the market here and putting them on your performers. So if these were my performers here, let's say these three, and I had a yellow and a green. Well, the yellow and green wouldn't help. It helped this person. I put a green there. I could put a yellow there, but it wouldn't help me. So, but if I had a blue and a white, I definitely put them right there. So you can put them anywhere you want, but you definitely want to put them in places where you're going to get some performance out of them, at least after 4 rounds, because you never know. People may be ready after 4 rounds. After that, it goes down to a vote. Now, after the last show is completed, what you're going to do is you're going to add up any shows, any performances you have. You can retire your last bit of people. Anyone who has 3 bricks on them, 3 cubes on them, you can retire them and gain those extra victory points. And then the game also comes with some in-game prestige. The person with the largest show will get 5 victory points. Person with a full variety, meaning they have all 5 types of performers in their act, they get 3 extra victory points. If someone did the perfect show means all of your performers have 3 cubes on them. All of them, all the active ones, have 3 cubes on them. If that is true, you get a bonus 5 points at the end of the game. And then finally, whoever has a large troop, player who has 8 or more performers in their circus, they're going to get an additional 5 points. So after you add all the points up, of course, the person with the most points wins. Now, that's the base game. On Board Game Geek, their store, they have this expansion called the Ringmaster expansion. It's $5. It was in the store as of this video, 2017. And what this comes with, it comes with a few Ringmaster cards here. And Ringmaster cards give you special abilities in the game. They can make performers or crew cheaper, 1 penny cheaper if you exchange certain color blocks. As you see, they're all different colors depending on the Ringmaster that you get. But all the special abilities are the same. For instance, on the second action, you can actually place an additional marker on one of these cubes. So you can break that, only X amount of players, X amount of cubes are open. So if you're playing a 2-player game, you can only get 2 of these cubes at a time. Well, if I had this Ringmaster card, cashed in 2 yellow cubes, I could go ahead and get that real big cube I wanted. Maybe I needed green and blue player was already there, but I could go ahead and get it because that's what that lets me do. Or if I get 2 white cubes and exchange them, I can exchange it for any cube I want. So the Ringmaster cards, they're basically your own little cheats in the game. You can just shuffle them out and give 1 out to each player. Now it also comes with new cards in it, like Dog Tamers, Levitators, Juggling Monkeys, who I just love, and a Martial Artist that looks like Chuck Norris, and a Horse Vault. I mean, just fun stuff. And these are just extra bonus cards. Now, that's all you're getting for your $5. But that is the Drumroll Ringmaster expansion. Final thoughts, what do I think about the game? Well, folks, my wife loves the circus, and I was thinking of games that she would like to play, and I said, surely there is a game based off a circus, right? Well, there ain't that many, and the ones that are out there don't look good. This was the only one that looked halfway decent for me, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot. Never played it, but I know the missus likes circuses, so maybe she'll like to play this. We got it and we played it, and it is incredibly fun. I love the colors. It feels like a circus. It looks like a circus. The art is beautiful. But forget all that. The gameplay is very simple, very straightforward, easy to understand. The only thing that's fidgety is counting up all your little points and making sure you have enough money to, pay all your people. I know that some of the later editions of this game, I heard they came with these little counters, which would be very helpful. My version didn't, but oh well. Now, imagine my surprise when I got this in. I only saw this as Drumroll the Circus game. I was like, all right, well, I'll give it a shot. But I had no idea this was made from the same company that made Project Elite, one of my favorite board games of all time. But not even that, it's from the same designer. What? This is a game that he made before Project Elite. It makes me even love this game more. This Konstantinos Kokinios, it's just a super fun game. Now, should you get the Ringmaster expansion? I think it's a lot of fun. It's only $5. on Board Game Geek, their Board Game Geek store. So I think it's worth it to get those little extra cards, to get some Ringmaster. We play with Ringmaster every time because it is nice to have the ability to change in those cubes to get different powers. But should you get Drumroll Period? Yeah, it's really cheap to get secondhand, and if you love the circus, this game is definitely for you. Alright gamers, that's all the clowning around I can do today. Until next time, game on!